Thank you for joining us today. My name is Paul Harrington. I'm the Training and Education Supervisor here at Decor. And today I'm going to be hosting the webinar today. And we're going to be talking with Vilas. And so Vilas, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Vilas Vijay. I work in Decor Cabinets as a warranty manager now. It's been 5 years since I've been working with Decor in various other positions. And yeah, that's it.
Nice. So as you're turning in, you see the title there. It's How to Avoid Order Mistakes and Warranty Claims. We're excited to have you here as part of our ongoing commitment to helping you, our partners, and customers achieve greater efficiency, accuracy, and also confidence in every kitchen project, right? So this is a live, so please bring your questions in the chat and we'll answer them. Someone will respond to you via chat for the questions, so yeah, just send questions our way. Yeah, and so in today's session, we will take a closer look at the most common ordering errors and then warranty claim issues we see in our world of cabinetry. And more importantly, how to prevent them. You will learn practical strategies for verifying specifications, ensuring product compatibility, and maintaining clear communication from design through delivery. Our goal here is to help you save time, reduce costly rework, and then protect your reputation for quality craftsmanship. So let's go with some main points of discussion here.
Okay, so the main points for us to discuss on this is let's start how to avoid mistakes and warranty claims when we process an order, right? So the main issue would be the order entry. So when it comes to order entry, what are the things that needs to be taken into consideration, right? So the first one I would say is when a designer is submitting an order, they should clearly send us a numbered elevations. Why I'm saying numbered elevations, right? So that helps us as CSRs to identify any missing cabinets or parts, or check for any ambiguity in the dimensions, or even identify any missing modifications. So basically, when there is an elevation, it helps our CSRs to help you serve better. And the next one would be to understanding how the system basically connects or canvas works, and what you need to set up as premiums and overrides. So these are one of the other important factors that needs to be considered. Then when something is vague, right, it's vague, that's it. So what you have to do is add notes, clear notes indicating what is required by you. So that sets up as an indication to our CSR that, oh, this is what is expected from Decor by you, right? So that will be communicated back to you if that can be done or not. So the notes helps a lot in bridging that gap there. So, and after that, what we see is like CAD drawings, right? When there are CAD drawings, I have come across situations where the CAD drawings requests were made with certain like dimensions or stuff, and that doesn't reflect on the CAD drawings. So what I request is when the CAD drawings come back to you, please take a note of it and go through what you have asked for and see if those are mentioned clearly in the CAD drawing. If something is missing, please get back to the CSR and request for that. And what else I can say is that when you're entering the spec group, right, ensure that your spec group details are correct there, the dimensions are correct, check if there is any modification required and if that is noted in there or not. And like I said, if it is doubt, like if you're in doubt, ask the question. Also check for any hardware details and all. So basically, if you're in doubt, just put in notes, ask your CSR, and they will help you out on that.
Yeah, so we just kind of went over a lot pretty quickly there. So kind of let's break it down a little
Right.
bit. Let's start back with the number elevations, right? And so I've been in CSR. You've done CSR, so
Training,
we
yeah.
we understand the order process a little bit. But you really want to use your CSR as a tool, right?
Absolutely.
And they're here to help you to make sure that you get what you're after, right? And so when it comes to number drawings, we don't want elevations and floor plans that have overly too much details, because then it's hard for the CSR to line up and match,
Right.
what's going on, right? And so I would recommend, put your number them, each cabinet number. If you have like parts, if you have like a legend on the side, you can, some designers and dealers have put them onto the side. But if it's details that you don't necessarily need for the order, maybe it's for like the installer or an electrician. If that's not needed for the CSR, if you could remove that, that would be most beneficial. Again, you want to use your CSR as a tool so that they're checking the order so that they can help you as the designer prevent any errors, right? So that's really the key when it comes to elevations and floor plans. And it's also, we get a lot of orders that actually don't have elevations and floor plans. And so if you don't have any elevations and floor plans, there's nothing that your CSR can double check, right?
Absolutely.
And so some of the things that the CSR would check, like with elevations and floor plans, this ain't everything, but these are just some key things. They try to check and make sure that what you entered on the order in either Knex or Canvas matches the SKU that you entered matches what's on the floor plan and elevations.
Right.
If you have like a 5-piece drawer fronts or plain fronts, they'll check that, right?
Right.
If you're doing like finished sides, is it being consistent or was something missed, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, the number elevation, I would say, is probably a key component
Absolutely.
for help
Yeah.
reduce the warranties, right?
Yeah.
Now, understanding what you're setting in Knex Canvas, there are a lot of for Knex. There's a lot of premiums and overrides for Canvas. It's our new order entry system, right? And so everyone's still getting used to where everything's at with
Right.
those, right? And so if you're not 100% sure that what you are setting
Ask your CSR.
is accurate, please ask your CSR, because they will do the due diligence to make sure that you're entering and setting those SKUs correctly. So yeah, and it takes some time, especially Canvas is a new system. It's going to take a little bit of time to learn it
Right.
from you as a designer. So I would say, set some time aside so you can actually dive deep into it and to understand what you're doing and stuff. And here at Decor, we spent a lot of time trying to fine tune DWS and also Canvas, the order entry system, so that way it works with you, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
you also mentioned clear notes within Canvas or Knex. Sometimes if a note can be questioned or interpreted a different way, right? Then that doesn't help both parties, because you as a designer might mean this, but then the CSR would take it and interpret it this way, and then y'all both think what you're getting is what you want, but it's actually
Right.
not, right? And so just be as clear as detailed as possible. And then CAD drawings, we do verify these drawings as much as possible, but there's that human element, right?
Absolutely.
With everything. And so some stuff can be sent over to CAD, and your spec group information could be off a bit, right? Or the dimensions have changed, especially like when you've gone back and forth through the acknowledgement process.
Yeah.
If you change something, especially on a drawing, then maybe that wasn't actually sent over to CAD and something was missed there. So we always encourage looking at your CAD and make sure that everything's signed off there. And we're just here to help you. At the end of the day, when you sign off on that order, you're saying that this order is good to go. That you approve everything. You're signing off on the drawings and stuff. So please just take the time and provide that information to your CSR. And if something needs to be changed, then let's get that corrected for you. Because at the end of the day, we want you and your customer, your client, to be happy with what they're receiving. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the first part of it. It's more of like order entry, right? And so let's kind of shift gears here. We want to kind of shift and more talk about expectations, specifically on wood characteristics, right?
Yeah.
And so we've talked about this a little bit on previous webinars and stuff, but we want to focus a little bit like where to find some tools to help you. So one thing is, where do you go to find the policies? And so we actually have a wood characteristics policy. And so in DSS, you can go to
the sales tools, and under sales tools there's a forms library, and in there you will find the document of wood characteristics. And if it's on DWS, you can go under tools, and under policies it's there.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and open up DWS because that's going to be the new system. So we want to just go ahead and jump into DWS, and we'll show you how that is. So let me just pull that up on the screen here. Okay, so this is the DWS. I have a little bit of admin, so you'll see the admin here, but typically you'll see like the home screen, canvas, and so forth. But what we want you to do is go to tools, and then once you're on tools, if you scroll down to policies, you'll have a list of all of our policies. And so if you haven't taken the time to read through these policies, I would encourage you to take that time. Again, that will help with understanding what Decor considers warranty and what Decor doesn't consider warranty, and we go back to the policy. So yeah, so that's just policies, but we're not here to talk about all the policies. We just want to touch base on the wood characteristics. So if we go down to the bottom, that's where you'll find the wood characteristics and finishes, and then we have it broken down. So at the bottom here, you see download PDF. I am going to warn them, like this is a large PDF. There's a lot of information in there. Absolutely. I think it's like 29 pages.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've tried to set this up so that you can digest that information a little bit better. So we have general information. Under general information, you can see, we just talk about, wood characteristics. We also go to like the different stains and paints. So why don't you tell us a little bit about stains? Like, why is that important to think about, like when it's going on a species, like maple or clear alder or whatnot?
Right. When it comes to stains, and especially the stains which are lighter in color, like the urban stains or any of the coastal as well, I suppose. So what happens is a wood, right, is kind of what we call it as live, and it varies from log to log. Every tree is different. So, and the wood comes from different trees. So each wood would be having different grains, get different kind of absorption of the stain and the reflection as well, right? So that's why when it comes to lighter stains can show up differently on each what you call sheet of wood, right? So one door might be a bit of different than the other one on the same stain. So that's why we kind of like to I wouldn't say worn, but I would say it's more like a understanding of
Exactly.
it, so that stain would vary on like one, even in one job where you have say clear alder and up down as a color there, the colors would be different on different fronts there. So that's why we kind of and that's not a what do you call a defect. That's the very characteristic of the wood, right? That's the beauty of it, and that is what should be told to the end customer so that they understand, or they know what their expectations have to be around stains in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit more about like the characteristics of different species here in a minute, but let's dive a little bit deeper onto the stain finishes. So we actually have some photos that we're going to bring up here on the screen of different examples that we've come across, and we're just going to point out a couple of things. So just bear with me while I pull that up on the screen here. I'll zoom in. So here, I'll let you talk about this a
here
little
what
bit.
we're seeing is more, it's not a solid wood there. That's the V106 P-door style. So what is veneer, right? So veneer is basically made up of thin fletches of wood, which is applied onto a substrate like a HDF or a particle board, and that's how it's made.
When the tree's cut, right?
Yeah.
When the tree's cut, they cut the tree in a way, and then you have different ways to cut the tree, of course. And again, all that information is within the policy here. But they cut the tree and they form what's called a leaf, right?
Yeah.
And so when they put the leaf together on that veneer, which a veneer is just a thin piece,
like a paper. It's as thin as a paper that is applied on like with glue on a substrate, and leaves of various widths are attached together to form that sheet. And that's why when you look at this picture, right, the striping nature, you look at it, is because of each fletch or each leaf of veneer, which has a different, little bit different character there. And that is what is showing up as stripes on that piece there.
Yeah, so if we were, so like this is a lighter, this is
I think a natural stain, right? On that. Yeah.
And so it's, natural, it essentially just lets that beauty shine through, right?
Yeah.
You have the light and the dark. But if you were to do a darker stain, of course the light part of the veneers is going to pull that stain differently than the dark part, right?
Right.
And you'll still see it to come through. So you can't expect a stain to cover all that up, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, yeah, just to have that understanding, right? And so I also want to take the time here to just to remind you, if you have any questions, to shoot us those questions in the chats, and we'll answer those as soon as they come in to us. So,
yeah.
So with the different fletches, with the lighter stain or darker stain, of course, a lighter stain, this would be more pronounced, or you'll be more visible. Right. Whereas a darker stain, it won't show up as much, but you'll still see it. Like you can't expect
it just mellows down.
Exactly, right? So that's a picture. We'll go to another one here. So here's this is a similar scenario. We just wanted to kind of show you like in an installed kitchen, and then you have like the natural light and stuff coming in. But do you have anything you want to add on this one?
Oh, it shows it's a V106 P-door style, and you can see like the striping kind of looks beautiful there, and this is what I'm telling about the expectations to be set with the end customer. So if you show that this is how it's going to look on a whole kitchen, then I believe they would understand it and they would appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, like when with V106, you have different types of door styles, right? You have the V106, which is a vertical grain.
Right.
You have the V106H, which is horizontal, and then you have the V106B, which is book match. Now, when we say book match, it's not the traditional sense that if you're really into concrete tree that you'll understand the book match. When we say book match, it's more of a grain match. And when we do the match, it's within the cabinet, right? And so, for instance, in this picture here, you have your base cabinets there in the center where the sink is. Those, if you continue up through to the wall cabinets, they won't match as far as the grain goes, right? It's just within the cabinetry.
Absolutely.
And so, in the same way, if you were to do a horizontal grain and you have like a 2-door wide cabinet, it won't match from door to door.
Yeah.
Now, you might get a couple cabinets like just the way that it was cut.
That's incidental.
That it might, but that's not that. Yeah, that's like you said. It's
incidental.
Incidental, and that's not what we normally would do, right? So just having that clear understanding of what you're getting, both with the grain and then also when you're ordering the V106, the standard V106, V106B, and V106H, we always recommend going to the V106B because of it. It looks better, right? When it matches from from your fronts within that cabinet.
Absolutely, yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you can pull up those pictures of V106 where.
Is this where you wanted to talk?
Now, what we are seeing here is the V106B, right? So what happens is each fletch is kind of matched vertically. So that's why you will get a more pleasing look when you look at the cabinet as a whole, when it's of different grains and a different shade there. And if you go down and look at the V106, where we have a picture of the cabinet.
Oh, with the cabinet?
Yeah. The next one. Yeah. So that's what V106 would look like. So each front would have a different, I would say the fletches would not match with the one above it. So that would give you a kind of a checkerboard look. And with the lighter colors, that would just amplify it. So that's why we basically recommend going for a V106B when it's lighter stains.
Absolutely. And again, if you do a V106, you might get a couple fronts to match. And again, that's just incidental, right? Like it's the way that it was optimized and prepared on the floor, right? Because we optimize a sheet to get the most out of that sheet. And so with V106, it's not the norm. You should get something more like this. And that should be the expectations that you're telling your customers, your clients. So, okay, so let's do a couple more photos.
Mm-hmm. So if you could show the raw board, right? Like so, clear Alder. If you look at the clear Alder, see that's the raw veneer which we procure, right? This is how the veneer is made, which we procure from our suppliers. So if you even look at the raw board, you can see the contrasts in the fletches, right?
Yeah.
So once you apply a lighter stain on them, they are going to blow up, right, and show the contrast in there. And that's according to, or I would say that's just the very beauty of it. So it's all managing the expectations there, or setting the expectations with the end customers when it comes to veneers.
For sure. And the other thing, and this is both on veneer and solid wood, you'll see the raw piece, but as soon as you add that stain to it, that toner and stain, it's just going to take it differently, right? And then if there's any defects and stuff, then it can be pronounced and come out. And it's sometimes we try to we have quality and we try to look for those, but sometimes they do make their way through.
Yes, there, like when we talk about defects, right? Some defects are considered defects, but some are called acceptable defects. So if you, and that information is already there in our wood characteristics document. So where we basically go into each species and we list out what is acceptable defect and what is not acceptable defect. So I would say we should go through it to understand what is acceptable, Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
No
Yeah.
worries.
So yeah, if you go through that information before you request a warranty, you would be able to help your end customer understand that it's not a defect.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, so I would just encourage, having a go through each species, so then you'll understand what's acceptable and what's not. And so let's just go through and just show you kind of where to look, right? And so if you go under the wood characteristics and finishes, and you go to wood species, so we're just going to click on the wood species, and so we'll go back to the beginning here. We got maple, so you can go through. We're not going to go through every single one of these because for time's sake, but we'll highlight a couple of them. So for maple, the first part it'll kind of describe what to expect from maple, like what maple what it's known for and whatnot. And then if you scroll down, we have what is considered acceptable defects by the finish on maple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, for instance, we have these mineral streaks, right? And so for here, if you have on stains, if it's on the back,
that's acceptable.
Then it's acceptable, right?
Yeah.
On paint, it's acceptable. The reason being, it's paint, so you're going to paint it, you'll never see that mineral streaks, right? And so, we're not going to go through every single one of these defects or acceptable defects, but that's kind of how you would read this section here, right? And so, if it says no, like for instance, sap stain, this exception is natural. So like standard stain, you can have it on the back, right? Except for if you have a natural, it's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable. So that's not an acceptable defect. So then if it comes through, then it's a warranty there.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're not going to go through all these, but we wanted to make sure that you are aware that this tool is here for you, right? And again, it's to provide the clarity and understanding to your customer on, when we're dealing with wood, because this is from nature, right? We produce it, and so what do we expect from it, right? So, and just because it talks about paint here, I do want to highlight the one thing about when it comes to paint that we always recommend painted on HDF. We prefer it, and the reason being is if you paint maple, it's going to move. You'll see, you'll see hairline cracks and stuff more than HDF, right? And so, if you are going to paint maple, then essentially you're signing off saying that maple will show the gaps over time, and that we're not going to be responsible for those. So, was there any species that you wanted to highlight while we're here?
It's mostly I would go with the walnut, and like the difference between walnut and the rest of the woods, right? So walnut over time goes light from dark, while the other wood goes light to dark. So that's the difference there. So
sorry, you said walnut would go from light to dark?
From dark to light.
Okay.
So, yeah. And the others go light to dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the difference in walnut. And walnut is it has a wide spectrum when it comes to the kind of grains, the kind of colors it has. So it's really, really hard to do a matching when the job is like an year old or so. If you're reordering one of the fronts or a couple of those, you need to send a sample back to match to it, because it's really hard to get a good match when it's a older walnut job. So yeah, and in that scenario, I would even say that like any job which is more than for a stain job which is more than an year old, it's always better to send in a sample to match, whether it's a job completion or a warranty job, because it would be really the environmental, what do we call that?
The environment, yeah.
It changes and the wood changes and the stain basically fades or darkens depending upon where the kitchen is and how it's affected by sunlight and other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's always recommended that a sample be sent and we match to that sample rather than do the standard stain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just sunlight. You know, your lights from your house lights and stuff can have an effect on it, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say walnut. I would say cherry as well. Both of them.
Yeah.
They change over time.
Over time.
But talking about samples, right? Like, you know, we recommend replacing your samples. The stain samples are only good for 1 year. Stains are good, or sorry, stains. Paints are good for 2 years, right? And so it's also key that you're updating your samples. You know, if you have samples that are, you know, 2-3 years old, and then you're selling off of that, well, now that's opening up some possible errors there as well.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all the highlights. Was there any other pictures that we want to highlight here?
There will be one more of the, yeah. So this one is what you're looking at is a darker stain there, but then still you can see the fletches, right? The contrasting fletches there. But then again, that's the very nature of the wood or the veneer there. So
yeah.
Yeah. So that's a V106B there on those 3 fronts. So that's why it's kind of it matches vertically.
Yeah.
And there's one more raw. Yeah, that's the raw clear alder. That's from a production.
You talk about this stuff back here.
Yeah, so you can see how the.
Let me get back here.
Yeah, so you see how it varies. The fletches are light somewhere and somewhere it's dark. And when you optimize this for a job, right, and when it's stained over, you see all kinds of different shades in there.
Do you know how many sheets are there? It looks like.
We just put in 2 sheets there.
Okay, so there's just 2. You got this sheet here, and then this here's another sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense, right? Like you have 2 sheets side by side, but even within the sheet, like, you know, you have, if you cut your door on this side or door front here, and then you cut it from here, they even within the sheet, because of the different fletches and stuff, it's not gonna match, right?
Yeah.
So.
And one more thing is that Deco purchases, we purchase blank matched veneers. So when it's blank matched, the width of each fletch would vary. So it's you can look at this picture and see that some are like, I don't know, 6 inches, some are 3 inches. So within the sheet, the fletches would vary in widths as well.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone through a couple of things. Right. So the first thing we went through was kind of like order, making sure that you submit elevations and floor plans with numbered elevations. Right. We talked about understanding what you're entering into the system, and if you're not 100%, ask questions. We got the chat feature that you can send a chat. You have your CSR. You can put a question on the order, and then we can respond and make sure that you as a designer is getting what you're getting what you want. And then we talked about going through your AutoCAD drawing and making sure that they match, especially through changes. Stuff can get missed, right? So you want to check and make sure that the header information, the quantities, everything matches. And if you see a discrepancy, please point that out, right? Because we want you to be happy and to get what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then now we've talked a little bit about the materials, specifically the wood characteristics and finishes, using that as a tool, right? As I was going through on DWS, if I scroll up here, there's this one, effects of humidity on wood. Just because we're here, I just want to point it out a little bit. And this is more environmental, right?
Yeah.
And so, we sell cabinets all over, Canada and all over the U.S., right? And so you have different humidity levels in different regions of Canada in U.S. So it's very important that you that these are being stored in a controlled environment. If you're not going to install the cabinets right away, we encourage y'all to tell us the date that you want, so that way you're getting it close to your install. But if you are ordering them ahead of time and you're storing them, don't take them to the job site where there's no
control
climate where you can control that humidity, because if you do that, when you open it up, you're going to have all your fronts are cracked and open and stuff, and
warped.
and unfortunately that wouldn't be covered under warranty, right? Because it's part of understanding how these need to be stored. But passing that information on to your clients so that they understand that they need to also control the humidity levels in their house as well. Especially if they're living in it day to day, it's easier to control, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing like a cottage or something that's not that people aren't going to see on a regular basis, you want to control that. So have a look at the effects of humidity on wood. That's a good little read and good information. And now I kind of want to turn from information type of thing to talk about the warranty process, right?
Yeah.
And so before we jump into that, again, I want to remind y'all that y'all can send questions our way via the chat. We'll answer them as you send them. So just send us those questions. But let's talk about the warranty process a little bit.
Yeah. So when it comes to warranty submissions, right? Like what we look for is like we need to understand what the warranty is. So if it's for a defect or like any of the manufacturing defects or damage to the product, right? We would seek photos for it. Like when we say photos, it's just not one photograph, but like I would say take as many pictures as possible. The close-up of the defect, a long shot of the whole cabinet. If it's a damage, like a transit damage, take the picture of the package to show that the package was good or bad, either way, so that we can understand what is going wrong there, right? And when it comes to color variance, right? The issue with color variance, again, multiple photos with different lighting as well, if possible. So it kind of clears out that it's really an issue with the stain or the color, that the color is really bad, or like we need to understand where it went wrong. So, and because we are so far away because it's not in front of us, the material is not in front of us, to understand where it went wrong, the pictures are the only thing that helps us.
Absolutely.
So that's why we request that send us enough and more pictures of the goods or the cabinets you want to warranty, and also include notes when you are submitting the original order, right? The warranty order. Put in notes in as clear terms as possible as to why you're seeking the warranty and what is wrong with it, right? And mostly when it comes to issues where the dimensions were wrong, like you asked for a certain dimensions and you received different dimensions or the lengths or heights. On that scenarios, I would say take pictures of the product with the measuring tape on it, so that it helps us to understand that the product was received wrong. Because what happens most of the time when I check up the BOM, bill of materials, basically, it shows the right dimension. So, and I have an order in front of me which says we received at the cabinet at a wrong height. So I have no way to understand where it went wrong, because the bill of materials shows it was supposed to be at a right height or right dimension, right? So when there is a photograph which shows the measurement and it's clear that it's measured from like it's measured properly, and the measurement is different from what it is supposed to be, then it's clear as a day, right? And it's easy for us to process those and to identify where it happened. And if it is something like an issue with our system or the machine language, I don't know, whatever it be, we could go and fix it so that it doesn't repeat itself again. So
yeah. So what I like to tell designers and dealers when I'm talking to them is that we're not requesting photos to shift blame, right?
No.
Really, we were trying to get a clear understanding of what happened and what went wrong, right? Where we use these photos in the descriptions and what you're telling us, so that we can try to correct it so that it doesn't happen in the future, right?
Yeah.
And so really for the process, I would say right now the process hasn't really changed from you as a designer, as a dealer. You still submit the warranty order, and you send it to you submit the order. It'll go to your CSR. It'll go to the warranty department. Your CSRs aren't processed in the warranty department, which is Vilas and the team. They will review it and they will determine, okay, are these within the guidelines, or is it a warranty or is it a non-warranty, right? And as far as like clear information, I understand from your perspective as a designer or as an installer that's in the field, that you see the big picture. So when you take a picture, you see it like, oh, this is what's happened, right? But we only get to see that picture. So sometimes it's not clear when we look at the picture exactly what you're trying to point out to us. So that's why, clearly stating like what's happening here helps us guide us, like, okay, this is what's
so
affected.
The more photos, the more notes, it'll be a faster process for us to process the order, right? If not, we have to call back, we have to check and all that stuff, and I know it'll cause delays, but we are trying our best to avoid those delays, and and this helps us a lot in avoiding those delays as well.
Yeah, and so on that note, that's probably the change that you're going to see as a designer or from a dealer perspective is because the warranty orders goes to the warranty department now. If they need clarity, or if they don't quite understand, they will reach out to you and just ask for some more supportive photos or just clarity. So you might get phone calls, emails from Vilas or his team when they are processing this. And then once they approve it, then your CSR typically will process the order to further along and go through the order process. But that's kind of like, in a nutshell, the warranty process now. So on your side, it doesn't really change too much. You just might hear from Vilas and his team if there's questions.
Right, absolutely. And the other part of the warranty department is we kind of go back and look at those the warranty claims, and we investigate as to the why it happened and how well we can ensure that it doesn't repeat itself. And so there's a different process happening on the background, which is nothing to do with designers or dealers there, but it's improving ourselves and ensure that we reduce the warranties, because it's when we say warranties, it's just not redoing the stuff, but it's not just the money part, right? But it's the wait times, the expectations of the customer. Sometimes you're at the fag end of a project, and that one particular thing is holding back the handing over process, right? So that's where we are trying to mitigate and reduce the number of warranties.
So as a closing, I just want to say, thank you for taking your time to watch this. And we here at Decor, we have many people that help, process orders and use us as your team. We're here to help. Use your CSRs, use your dealer development specialist to get understanding. And if there's anything that we can do, please reach out to us. And again, we only want to help, and let us know what we can do for you. Thank you again for joining us, and have a great day.
Thank you.